Good evening, boys and girls and Midway families, and welcome to this week's edition of Tuesday Tale. This week, I have the privilege of reading for you Cajun Night Before Christmas. It is by Trosclair, and it is illustrated by James Rice. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the word Cajun describes a specific culture we have here in Louisiana, and it's specific to the area of Southwest Louisiana, an area that we know of Acadiana. So tonight, as I read, there are going to be a lot of words that you may be unfamiliar with. And so as we read through this text, a lot of these words will be Cajun words. And so I ask that you reflect on this. Join me as we read, boys and girls. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house they did not a ting pass, not even a mouse. The children been nuzzled good snug on the floor, and Mama passed the pepper through the crack of the door. Then Mama in the fireplace done rolls up the ham, stir the gumbo, and bake the yams. Then out in the bayou, they got such a clatter, make sound like old Boudreaux done fall off his ladder, and run like a rabbit to get to the door, trip over the dog, and fall on the floor. And as I look out of the door in the light of the moon, I think, man, you're crazy or got all too soon. Cause there on the bayou, when I stretch my neck stiff, there's 8 alligators pulling a skiff. And a little fat driver with a long pole stick. I know right away that has to be old Saint Nick. More faster and faster the gator they come, and whistle and holler and call them by name. Ah, Gaston, ah, T-Boy, ah, Pierre, ah, Alcy, Guy Nanette, Guy Suzette, Celeste, and Renee. The top of the porch to the top of the wall, make crawl alligator and be sure you don't fall. Like Tante Flo's cat, through the treetop he fly when the big old hound dog come a-running himself by. Like that, up on the porch, them old gators climb with the skiff full of toys, and St. Nicholas behind. Then on top of the porch roof, it sound like hail when all them big gators done sot down on their tails. Then down the chimney I yell with a bam, and St. Nicholas fall and sit on the yams. Sacre, he exclaimed, my pant got a hole. I done sot myself on them red hot coals. He got on his feet and jumped like a cat out to the floor where he land with a splat. He was dressed in muskrat from head to his foot, and all his clothes is all dirty with ashes and soot. A sack full of playthings he throw on his back. He looked like a burger, and that's for a fact. His eyes, how they shine, his dimple, how merry. Maybe he'd been drink the wine from blackberry. His cheek was like rose, his nose like a cherry. On second thought, maybe he lapped up the sherry. With snow white chin whiskers, a quivering belly, he shook it when he laughed, like the strawberry jelly. With a wink in his eye and a shook of his head, make my confidence that, so I don't be scared. He do no talking, gone straight to his work, putting playthings in a sock, and then turn around with a jerk. He put both his hand there on top of his head, casts an eye on the chimney, and then he done said, with all that fire and all them burning hot flames, me, I ain't coming back, and by the way that I came. So he run out of the door and he climbed to the roof. He ain't no fool him for to make one more goof. He jump in his skiff and crack his big whiff. The gator moved down and done make one slip. I hear him shout loud, a splashing he go. Merry Christmas to all till I saw you some more. The end. Boys and girls, I thank you for joining us as we read tonight. So within our Cajun folks tales, boys and girls, we were able to see some things that are specifically to the culture of South Louisiana and Cajuns. So this Santa Claus, or Saint Nicholas, as they refer to in this text, was known as Saint Nicholas. And instead of reindeer, he had 8 alligators. And there were some things that the Cajuns did to celebrate Christmas that we saw. So thank you for joining. And next week, I'll be joining you with the Cajun night after Christmas. And so as we prepare for our Christmas break, we'll have some exciting reading. Thank you, boys and girls. Have a good night.